Hello everybody, we had a DevBlog from the old school RuneScape team the other day, Content Poll 27. So let's have a look at Content Poll 27's DevBlog. First of all, we've got the instanced corporeal beast. Since the release of the corporeal beast, there has been hundreds of thousands of the boss killed. It's fair to say that the boss has become a favourite of many, and the hunt for sigils is one that many players have taken wholeheartedly. In order to help players along with this hunt, and due to popular demand, they would like to offer the ability to create an instance version of the boss for yourself and your team. To open up an instance, you will need to have placed at least 200,000 coins in the co-offer that will be found in the cave of the corporeal beast. Once opened, 200,000 coins will be removed from the co-offer and you will be allowed access to the corporeal beast along with your players in your friends chat. The instancing system will allow you and your team to consistently kill the corporeal beast in peace without having to worry about being crashed. So the question they're going to add in Content Poll 27 will be, should they add an instance corporeal beast that allows players to take their clan chat in? It will cost 200k per entry for a team of any size. So this is obviously an interesting idea. I'm a bit unsure about this. I think perhaps 200,000 coins, depends if that's unlimited kills, you can stay there for as long as you like, people can keep coming in. But if it's say 200,000 for a corp to spawn, and then you kill it, another 200,000 for the corp to spawn, then I think it's a better money sink and a lot better idea. So I think they've got to go into a bit more detail about that, but unfortunately they probably won't before they poll it. Next, they've got the Elysian Spirit Shield special effect animation. When using an Elysian Spirit Shield, despite the incredible strength of this special effect, there's no way of telling when the shield is working away and reducing incoming damage. In order to give us a better idea of just how much the shield is doing, they're going to be offering a small animation that will play to indicate when the effect of the shield activates. The animation will be subtle to make sure that you're able to see exactly what is happening when you're in combat, but it will still be apparent just to see how much your shield is helping you. So the question will be, should a subtle animation play to indicate when the Elysian Spirit Shield effect is activated? To me, I quite like that idea. I do like it when special effects have something just to indicate that they're happening, such as what we've had on things like Varrox. Next, we've got the Armadillo Crossbow graphic rework. Before Mod Alfred left the old school team, he had a go at reworking the appearance of both the Armadillo Crossbow and the Armadillo Crossbow special attack. Right now, the Armadillo Crossbow is simply a slightly modified Hunter's Crossbow. Many players have asked for something a little more. So this is the model that Mod Alfred created. It's an interesting model. I quite like it because it sort of fits in with the rest of the outfit. I think the dark blues are a bit strange if you're looking at it with the Armadillo armor. This is the old crossbow. I also like this as well. I mean, not many people use the Hunter's Crossbow. It took me a while to find out that it was actually the Hunter's Crossbow. Although, I think the colour scheme is actually a bit too bright for the Armadillo armour. So the question will be, should the Armadillo Crossbow and its special attack be graphically reworked? Now, I'm a bit unsure about this. I do like the current Armadillo Crossbow, but sometimes when you look at it with the armour, it just looks a bit better with this new, slightly graphically reworked one. There are a few drawbacks with this new graphic rework, but personally, at the moment I'm thinking that this new one's slightly better. As for the special attack, I don't mind. I think the current special attack looks okay. We'll just have to see what it's like. Next, the Nightmare Zone graphical rework. The Nightmare Zone arena is not the most unique of areas as it stands. Mod Ghost would like to offer a graphical rework for the area to make it a little more interesting and make your hours and hours spent in the arena a touch more enjoyable. At the moment he's not started working on the rework. Offering this in a poll will just allow them to judge if the change is something the community will be interested in seeing. Of course, as Mod Ghost works away on the new environment, he'll be constantly sharing his progress with all of us and listening to feedback. So the question will be, should the Nightmare Zone environment be graphically reworked? Well, currently it's rather muddy, kind of brown, so it would be quite nice to have something a bit more pleasing to the eyes. Obviously we don't know what it's like yet, and I hope that they sort of show us a lot of images so we can give a lot of feedback on it. We don't want something looking really strange. But I can't imagine this being too bad. Next, we've got all the other questions they're going to be adding into this poll. So, should the high alchemy value of the Blessed Spirit Shield be reduced from 840,000 to 720,000 coins so God Swords protect over it? Now I'm a bit unsure about this, but to be honest I think that's a good idea. Next, should a back door be added to Lumbridge Castle to give access to the courtyard's back gate? So they added a shortcut in the courtyard about a week or two ago, and now they're suggesting that they have a back door or a shortcut inside the actual castle itself. So you, instead of running around the castle and going through the shortcut, you just run through the castle using a shortcut to get to the shortcut. So it's effectively a shortcut for the shortcut. Now I was slightly opposed to the Lumbridge Courtyard shortcut, and this I don't think is really needed. We've already got the shortcut at the back. We don't really need another shortcut throughout this iconic building in the game. Next, should the click zone of wyverns be increased to make them easier to click? I think that's a good idea. Next, should an empty option be added to the coal and gem bags when the bank interface is open? This would allow you to empty them directly into your bank. Well, I really like that idea, but I think they should expand that so you can do it with runecrafting pouches, maybe eating food in the bank, just do a whole sort of bank update where you do that. So for now, I'm going to vote no, and sort of give them feedback and say you should do this along with runecrafting pouches, eating food, just the other things. I believe you can do this in RuneScape 3 where you sort of right click the item in your inventory and you get your sort of regular options. Next, should a right click check Slayer Gem and Slayer Ring be made usable when the bank is open? Now similar to the previous question, I think this should be added in sort of a bank right click update. Next, should the colours of all imbued rings be tweaked slightly to made more distinguishable from standard rings? I think this is a brilliant idea. Sometimes you sort of look at like varying amounts of rings and you have no idea which ones they are. Obviously if you don't have many rings it's not an issue to you, but if you are, I've got quite a few rings and I'm a bit unsure which ones are my enchanted ones, which ones aren't. So I think that will just help slightly. Next, should you be able to queue up a plank make spell like you can do with alchemy and the superheat spells? I think this is a brilliant idea. Obviously queuing up is only for one spell next, and well, I've been alching recently and that has been so much easier than it used to be. It's not like it's overpowered, it's just making it so when you click you don't have to keep thinking, oh, I'm casting the spell already or what. So I think this is a really good idea. Next, should packs of 100 Eye of Newts be added to the stock shops that currently sell Eye of Newt? Now I thought they already did this, but I'm guessing they haven't. So I think that's a good idea and they should probably do that soon. Next, should the Priest in Peril requirement for being assigned Bloodvelds, Necroils, Aberrant Scepters and Abyssal Demons be removed? The 4 monsters are now available in the Slayer Stronghold, so you don't really have to go through Priest in Peril to do them. It'll be interesting to do that. Obviously Pures can then now kill them, but some people have been avoiding doing Priest in Peril to not get these sort of tasks. So it's kind of a to and from. You get Pures getting these new items, but people that are trying to avoid these tasks are getting the tasks. Personally I think this is quite a good idea because obviously you can go in there in the Stronghold Slayer cave and kill them now. Next, should a right click change gauntlet option be added to the Family Crest Brothers? Now I didn't realise how many people were changing their gauntlets often, but if they are, then obviously this is a good idea. Perhaps instead we could just get all 3 gauntlets, or we could have a gauntlet that does all the options. Those 2 options might be quite powerful, but to me, if people need a change gauntlet option on the Family Crest Brothers, then I think that we should probably just have them all. Next, should they remove the dialogue at the entrance to King Lanthus training ground to make entry less click intensive? So that's the combat training camp just above West Ardoyne. I don't think anyone's running in and out of that a lot, and I think removing some of the dialogue will probably make it slightly better, although if there's quests in that area, I think if you're doing the quest it might be good just to talk to them, just to get a bit more backstory when you're trying to get into these areas. Next, should the game's necklace have an option to teleport to Tears of Guthix, requiring the quest to be complete? I can't imagine this being completely overpowered, it's not near a bank or anything, although it might have more people leveling up their lowest skills. But I guess that's the whole point of the minigame. Now I don't think this is actually too overpowered. I was thinking obviously it's very easy to get there just running through the Lumbridge swamp, But really, this will probably just make it slightly better, and more people will be buying the game's necklace, even though people are buying it currently for the corp. Next, should hands be able to tell you your old school time played on your account? I would like to find out how much I've played on my old school account, so I think that's a good idea. Next, should the Iron Man chat icon be visible in chat? I really don't think this should happen. I don't want Iron Men to be getting all these crazy bragging rights. A lot of the time these Iron Men have just made an account and haven't really done too much. If they are doing really well, then they will be in the high scores and people will be able to see them and recognise them. The only thing I think possibly would be good for Iron Men is if they remove the trade option on Iron Men, or if you're an Iron Man they just remove the trade option altogether on other players. Next, should the default stock of the recipe for disaster items be increased from 5 to 10 if you have completed the recipe for disaster? This would not affect the food chest. Now I can't really see any need for this, but it won't affect the game too much, so I think this is an interesting idea. Perhaps this might mean people will be able to stock up on Barrow's gloves easier, but I don't think that's going to break the game particularly. Next, should the Zamorakian spear attack animation be reworked to use both hands? Now I'm not really sure what the animation currently is. I think it's the same as the dragon spear, but I wouldn't be directly opposed to that unless the animation looked terrible. Next, should Iron Man accounts be permitted to buy Scroll of Redirection from Nightmare Zone? Now at first I was opposed to this, but now thinking about it, I don't mind this, as long as the sort of things that the Iron Man can get from Nightmare Zone aren't resources such as Pure Essence, and I think you can get Seaweed and Soda Ash from there. The Scroll of Redirection isn't sort of an item where you can farm it and make money off it. It's just a really useful item to be able to help you get around the map. And finally, should the boss kill counters be removed from the game filter? So I suppose people just want to be able to see their kills on the bosses when they've got the game filtered, which sounds like a good idea. Anyway, I like most of this devblog. There's a few things I'm a bit unsure about and I'm a bit worried that may pass. Most of them I'm pretty happy if they did pass, and some of them I don't mind either way. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with old school RuneScape updates, devblogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.